Welcome to patch 23.0. It is a lot bigger than I expected, so I'm gonna show you what the new Battleground stuff is, including a new tribe. Yes, a new tribe. And a bunch of other cool shit. Originally, I didn't want to make a video because it's the big Hearthstone core set, like standard stuff. I didn't think there was going to be much for Hearthstone Battlegrounds. But I think there's a lot to talk about, so here I am anyway, and that's why I might look a bit like a hobo. I hope you don't mind. Okay, that was too much of an intro. Let's get scrolling. So most of these patch notes right now is standard and wild, and also like duels getting a bunch of an overhaul. But we're getting a new hero, which is Stormcoil. Yes, Ini Stormcoil. So she has a passive hero power. After 9 friendly minions die, get a random mech. It doesn't say this combat. I assume it's not 9 minions in a single combat, because otherwise it's gonna take like incredibly long to set up a board that actually gets you like 1 mech a turn. So I assume this stacks over multiple turns. If not, this hero is trash and unplayable. So I'm not gonna assume that this hero is trash and unplayable. I'm gonna assume that the 9 friendly minions can be over multiple turns. So getting a free mech once in a while is fine. I assume if you're at a higher tier, you can get a mech from that tier up and below. But you know, that as a single hero power doesn't seem super significant. Then their buddy is a 2-star though. So 2-star buddy is usually pretty strong because you get them incredibly early. A 4/4 mech whenever you play a mech game +2/+2. So the first thing that comes to mind is Xirella's buddy, which is the 2/2 elephant thing. That gets a +2/+2 whenever you play a card with health equal to attack. And that seems a lot better. Like, it's way easier to cycle through cards or play cards that are going to buff that up with +2/+2. Look at Salmantle, look at most buffs like Jug and Mug, and your hero power. Like, it's so easy to buff up that beast. It's a tier 3 now instead of a tier 2. While mechs, you don't really cycle mechs. Usually with a mech board, you play like the Flactos, maybe you magnetize a module or a menace, that's about it. You set up, you know, your Buster and then your Baron, Macaw, whatever, right? Usually with mechs, you don't cycle a lot of mechs on your board, so this thing isn't even gonna scale a lot. It's also after you play a mech, not after you summon, so even if you summon during combat, it's not kind of like a junk bot. It just seems a way worse version of Xirella's buddy, even though you get a mech like maybe once or twice in a combat in the late game. I don't think this hero is impactful at all. Like, this seems like a mediocre mid-tier tempo hero that doesn't even have much tempo early on. Like, you get no additional tempo. The only tempo you get is once 9 friendly minions die, you get like an extra mech. Sure, but there's a lot of heroes that get extra minions earlier, like Silas, like way quicker and with way more control, and you don't have to force mechs. I guess this helps you get triples, but no, I don't see it. I can see the cool potential. Like, you can easier like triple your bomb and get your comp together, and you have a little bit of tempo here. It is a mech, and compared to Xirella, it's a beast, so you can module this, you can give this taunt and divine shield. So mechs have like a little bit more synergies than a single beast, I suppose. It can get buffed with Buster, but yeah, no, I'm gonna rate this pretty low. We got Varden Dawngrasp, a hero that saw so little play because it was so bad, or pretty bad. It like had high potential, but you barely saw it pop off, especially right now in the meta we're in. It doesn't really perform that well. So both the buddy and the hero power changed. The passive hero power now is whenever the tavern is refreshed, copy the highest tier minion and freeze it. So instead of the rightmost minion, freezing that is the highest tier. So if you're tier 5, instead of just freezing random 1-drops or 2-drops, you will always freeze a 5-drop if there's one in your shop, if not a 4-drop, and so on. So this kind of gives you like more potential to high roll. If you make it to 5 and hit a Mama Bear or a Crocolisk and get a pair on that, that's insane. Early on doesn't really matter, right? Early on, your highest tier is usually just the same as your right post. Doesn't matter. But yeah, this is definitely, if you're in higher tiers, gonna be able to snowball you. Like, let's say you're on tier 6, you're getting a Amalgadon. Hey, here's a second Amalgadon. I'll take it. I'll be happy with that. And the buddy is twice as nice. So the same, it gives you stats to the frozen card equal to your tavern tier, but now also to the other cards. So both cards, the original one, the one that you copy, now get stats from your tavern tier. So that gives this hero a lot more tempo, and I think that is good, because now early on you can slam this. You don't even need to freeze the pair or buy the pair. You can just take cards that have buffs from a higher tier, because it always takes the highest tier card in your shop. So every shop that you roll, you will have the highest tier card getting a shop buff if you have this, or a buff equal to the tavern tier of your shop if you have this on your board. So I think this is a lot better. Overall, like, only if the hero power would change, I don't think it would be enough, but the fact that you also get the additional tempo with this buddy, I think might push it over the edge of being playable. Because you have pairs lined up early, you got that extra tempo that is actually beneficial, and that potential late game to even snowball harder. I think this hero might see some play now, and definitely better than the new hero that we got, the Ini, what was it called? Ini Stormcoil. Not S tier, maybe low A tier is my guess, or top of B tier. That's already a bold assumption, but I think it will be playable. Also, a very important change, Battleground's finishers, which is like the animation if you deal damage, is now called Battleground Strikes because, well, finishers, not always too PG. So Battleground Strikes is now the official name, and we get a new one, which is, I think it's gonna show it. Oh, this is the new board. New Battleground Strike Deep Sea Vortex. Where can we see it? There's no animation for it. But yeah, this is the new board, which is Shipwreck Cove. Pretty sick, I guess. And that's it for these patch notes, but I told you there was a new tribe, and I told you there were other exciting things to talk about, and that's actually in the other patch notes. So we got the 23.0 patch notes, but also in the year of the Hydra, which is this year. I don't really care about the year, I think it's more of a standard thing, but now you know it's a Hydra year. Apparently, there's also some info for Battlegrounds. So here's a roadmap. I'm gonna check real quick if there's anything useful in here. So this video is basically just these patch notes, so let's read them together. Here's a roadmap, which is very vague, so not much to comment on this. But now Battleground Seasons was something they mentioned in the video. So Battlegrounds will begin organizing its major moments into seasons, similar to Hearthstone's expansion cycle. So that is very interesting. Right now it was just kind of random, where it was just kind of in line with Hearthstone cycles, standard rotations, but we didn't really have a clear guideline, or it was like, okay, this is the MMR reset, that's it. So we're getting finally seasons for Battlegrounds. These seasons will help give a clear idea of when big changes like special events, keywords, or system changes are coming to the mode, as well as when they will be ending. It all starts with the first Battleground season coming in patch 22.3, which is the next one. I think that season will bring a new keyword mechanic, a new Naga minion type. So here it is, we're getting Nagas as a tribe, which is something that a lot of people talked about, and I think most people expected Nagas, but here we go, we get Nagas, and they're gonna have a special keyword, I assume, that we haven't seen before, because last time they've also been experimenting with Battleground specific keywords. So leave your theory crafts down below. I think there's gonna be a lot of cool things that they can explore, and I really hope that it's gonna be an interesting tribe to mess around with, and that it has flexible options, that's not just gonna be Elementals 2.0 when that got released, in case someone remembers here, some of the boomers. Look ahead, the team is planning to continue expanding on Battlegrounds cosmetics throughout the year, so new boards, new finishers, oh no, I mean strikes, and to add a progression system to Battlegrounds at some point. Oh, that is also sick. We're also getting a progression system apparently, so kind of, I think, like the battle pass, but specifically for Battlegrounds, or maybe something next to just an MMR system or a ranking system, another way to progress. I don't know, there's no specifics here, but that is interesting to hear, though, that there's more to play for than just your rating. Stay tuned for more info about these future developments. We don't know when this is, when this future info is gonna drop, but when it does, I'm definitely gonna make a video on it. So if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, don't forget you click that red button, because I try and make these videos whenever something interesting happens. But real quick, one thing I want to mention though is that I'm kind of sad to see more heroes still being added in the game without issues being addressed. Like, there's still nerfs that I'd like to see to, like, Sephin has been a really big issue and a really big talking point in the community right now, and just part of the meta is just, is there Murlocs in lobby or not? Also the fact that they keep on adding new heroes and not nerfing or buffing existing heroes or reworking buddies. Like, there's still a big power difference in heroes right now that I would like to see changed, or just there's still fundamental things that we haven't talked about for a lot that they're kind of being looked over or glanced over right now and not being addressed. But again, at least we're getting a lot of exciting things coming soon. Hopefully the Naga minion type might balance stuff out and change the way the game is played a bit, but for now I'm happy with what I'm seeing. I'm hoping that they will address Sephin at some point, and maybe some other cards like Trickster on tier 1 and Chroma Wing are also kind of bullshit sometimes, but that's maybe a topic for a different video. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a good day.